Coming up next, Center County saw the highest voter turnout in 20 years for this election. We have the latest on the races and the aftermath.
Plus, looking ahead to a local film festival with an international flavor.
And a harvest at Penn State that'll help the community.
Our volunteers touch the food from seeding the whole way out to donating, which is great.
The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Alina Surace.
And I'm Ethan Ellis. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, election week continues with national and local results still coming in. Reaction to a Republican White House win and more. Reporter Evan Halfin has the latest information.
People are very, understandably divided on the issue. There are people like me who are very, very happy about this result and think that this is exactly what should have happened. There are people who don't. And, that's what you're going to have in this country, but I think that's the beauty of a democracy.
With the highly contested presidential election, Center County had the highest voter turnout in 20 years this week, more than 73%. Pennsylvania played a key role in Donald Trump's win, and local Republicans are celebrating.
We've worked really hard as Penn State College Republicans to make this victory happen. We knocked on over 5,000 doors. We tabled all day in the hub. We went on every form of media from national on down to, promote our message and so much more than that.
Local Democrats, however, are still upset and angered by the election outcome.
People have a tendency to just hear things echoed multiple times, and those just get ingrained into their minds. They don't hear much pushback against those things, and it just ends up solidifying a lot of false statements, making people believe that they're true, and it's very concerning.
With Donald Trump officially elected president once again, a strong divide and opposing opinions still remain across Penn State campus and Center County. Social media platforms were flooded with election reactions, and misinformation spread quickly. Penn State's PSU Votes organization has worked throughout the election season to keep people informed by offering fact-based resources to help voters.
We want to make sure students understand that their vote and their power matters every single election, not just these big ones. And why it matters is because it's a privilege that is not unique to us, but it's not guaranteed anywhere in the world.
Officials in Center County face several unusual issues. Police evacuated the election office in Bellefonte on election night after an emailed bomb threat. It was unfounded, but the evacuation delayed ballot counting. The next day, more than 13,000 mail-in ballots had to be rescanned because of a software issue that delayed the reporting of vote totals. But the Center County Republican Committee plans to demand a recount of mail-in ballots, according to WPSU. In State College, I'm Evan Halfin for Center County Report.
And we have some breaking election news right now. Democrats will retain control of the State House. A win just called for Frank Burns in the Johnstown area gives them just enough to keep a one-seat margin.
We have updates for you today on results from all 11 races we're following here in our area. At the top of the ballot is the presidential race. Former President Donald Trump beat Vice President Kamala Harris, and the swing state Pennsylvania helped him win the White House again. Here's a look at the latest electoral map. The latest Pennsylvania Trump had a 51% to Harris's 49%, with almost all precincts reporting. In the Pennsylvania U.S. Senate race, Democrat Bob Casey has lost his seat after 3 terms. AP finally called this close race yesterday. Republican challenger Dave McCormick is the winner. He has 48.9% to Casey's 48.4%.
Now let's look at some statewide races in Harrisburg that are on the ballot. In the state attorney general race, Democrat Eugene DePasquale and Republican Dave Sunday faced off. Sunday won the race with 51% to DePasquale's 46% of the vote. For State Auditor General, incumbent Tim DeFore, a Republican, was seeking a second term. His opponent was a Democrat, Malcolm Kenyatta. DeFore won with 51% to Kenyatta's 46%. Turning to the state treasurer race, Democrat Aaron McClellan battled incumbent Republican Stacey Garrity, and Garrity won the seat again with 52% of the vote to McClellan's 46%.
Voters were also deciding a key congressional race in central Pennsylvania this week. The 15th district covers much of north-central Pennsylvania, including Center County. Longtime incumbent Republican Glenn Thompson has been in Congress since 2008. Democrat Zach Womer was the challenger. Thompson won this race easily with 72% of the vote to Womer's 28%. Now let's turn to the state legislative races, beginning with the Pennsylvania Senate and the 25th district. That includes parts of Center County plus Clinton, Cameron, Jefferson, Elk, and Potter in McKean counties. Republican Chris Dush was seeking re-election after his first term. He ran against Democrat William McGill this election. Dush won state Senate seat with 67% of the vote to McGill's 33%. Now to the 35th Senate District, which includes parts of Center, Cambria, and Clearfield counties. Only Republican incumbent Wayne Langerholk from Cambria County was on the ballot. He's been in office since 2016. Langerholk won re-election with 100% of the vote.
Now let's move to the state house races in central PA. First is the 77th district. That includes parts of Center County, including the State College and Port Matilda areas. Incumbent Democrat Scott Conklin from Rush Township is finishing his 18th year in office. Republican Marie Labrizzi from Ferguson Township tried to unseat him. Conklin has won re-election with 61% of the votes to Labrizzi's 39%. Moving now to the 82nd district. That includes parts of Center County North to the Snowshoe area. Democrat Paul Takak from College Township went up against challenger Therese Holland from Benner Township. Takak won the seat with 54% to Holland's 46%. And finally, we look at the 171st district, which includes parts of eastern Center County and down to the Lewistown area. Incumbent Kerry Benninghoff ran unopposed for re-election. He's held the office since 1996, and he'll remain in office with 100% of the vote.
As Americans closely watched on election night, so did people around the world. Journalism students from Scotland spent the election week at Penn State to experience and cover the U.S. election. Reporter Michaela Robinson has the story.
Millions of Americans watched as election night results rolled in this week and Donald Trump beat Kamala Harris. And the world watched too, from abroad and here. Journalism students from Scotland spent election week at Penn State to experience and cover the U.S. election.
You can tell there's a lot of passion in this country for it. I think sometimes from an outsider's perspective you don't get to see what people's experience are, and I think getting to watch everyone, especially on campus here, I've noticed straight away when we came in, there's people canvassing, there's so much support out there, and it's just great to watch.
The University of Strathclyde students are reporting for a magazine back home.
The opportunity just came up for us to come over and basically interview people for the Sunday National magazine, which is published in Scotland.
Their experience so far has been different from what they've seen in Glasgow.
The vibes people give off here is so different. They're very, as long as you approach them in the correct way, they're very happy to talk about how they feel and what they support, and we're not used to that at home. People are very hush-hush at home and like to keep their opinions to themselves.
Coming from the UK, it's such a big thing for us to watch, especially because of Trump. It's such a showcase. It's amazing to actually experience it in person.
Their trip here comes just 4 months after the UK held its own election, one that saw a shift in the power as Conservatives were booted from office after 14 years. In University Park, I'm Michaela Robinson for the Center County Report.
The Scottish students spent this week in State College and in Philadelphia.
In other news, a popular week-long celebration of film is about to kick off again in our area. The Center Film Festival starts in a few days. Reporter Evan Halfin is live at the State Theater in State College with more. Evan, looks like you're right for the big screen.
Hi, Ethan. Thank you. Yeah, I am. In just a few short days right here in the State Theater, it's going to be poppin' with moviegoers and community members for the 6th Annual Center Film Festival. I got a behind-the-scenes look on the preparations of the festival.
It's a little bit of Hollywood in Happy Valley. The Center Film Festival is just around the corner, running from Monday through November 17th. The festival showcases a wide range of films, celebrating the power of storytelling through cinema for the 6th year. The festival focuses on breaking boundaries between local and global films. Festival co-founder Pearl Gluck and her team try to offer films that aren't always available in mainstream media.
Look at what's going on in the world today. We need films in order so that we can have these conversations. We're having them anyway, or we're avoiding them anyway. So with a film, whether it's comedy or horror, it doesn't matter what genre, it lets you connect.
Student volunteers have been hard at work preparing for the big week. The volunteers have been involved in everything from setting up screenings to managing community outreach, gaining hands-on experience in the film world.
As a film production major, I'm really excited to meet other directors and actors and stuff that'll be coming in, so I can see their experiences firsthand.
For Gluck, the festival is more than just a celebration of film. It's a way to engage the community and bring exposure to filmmakers from around the world.
We bring some of the most pivotal films out there now. Some of the films that you're hearing about from Sundance or Tribeca or Cannes, we've got some of those. And then we have films you've never heard of.
Students are always free, and if you can't catch it in person, you can catch it online. Reporting in University Park, I'm Evan Halfin. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Evan. Will our streak of dry weather continue? We checked the 7-day forecast.
And we preview the Penn State whiteout game against Washington. Also coming up, a new effort aimed at helping Pennsylvanians fight breast cancer.
When we first met Todd, he was singing a song, and I was like, wow, look at this kid with the biggest smile.
Todd's a joy.
Yes.
Todd's really is a great joy.
And you.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids are facing hunger every day? Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Keep going.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Breast cancer is a frightening reality for many women, but a Pennsylvania organization is trying to help with more resources and support. Dylan Price has the story.
And that is Act 1.
Act 1 was a first-of-its-kind bill passed by Governor Josh Shapiro. The bill made mammograms free for all women 40 or older in Pennsylvania or those with a family history of breast cancer. Natalie Kopp with the PA Breast Cancer Coalition says the group championed the bill, and it was a long time coming.
You know, you can put yourself in that position, and you know that if you're going to be receiving that bill every single year, you're not going to get your MRI, something that could save your life. So we were motivated by stories like Ruth's to really champion this piece of legislation.
Early detection is key, according to Kopp, and the numbers support that. Data from the coalition shows 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will be diagnosed with breast cancer during their lifetime, and over 2,000 women in our state die each year from it. But if treated early, there's over a 98% 5-year survival rate. Tiffany Leiber's daughter is a Penn State student. Leiber is from Texas and battled and beat breast cancer, but it may have been an easier fight if caught earlier.
At level 3, stage 3, you sit there and think, okay, it really makes you face your mortality and realize, okay, I may not be around for everything, and it makes you kind of reevaluate how you approach everything.
Leiber had stage 3 breast cancer, which experts give an almost 12% lower survival rate than if it was found early.
I will tell all my daughters they really need to get tested way early, even if it's out of pocket.
And it worked. Her sister was recently diagnosed, but at stage 0.
Like 100% chance of recovery, but still requires surgery and intervention, but she only found it because she goes every 6 months now because of my experience.
You know, in Pennsylvania, we have free mammograms for women aged 40 and over, or if you have a family history and a higher risk earlier than 40. So there's really no excuse not to get your annual screening in our state.
In University Park, I'm Dylan Price for the Center County Report.
For more information and details on breast cancer resources available, go online to pabreastcancer.org.
If it seems like we haven't had much rain lately, you're right. It's been a very dry stretch. In fact, most central PA is now listed in the abnormally dry category on the new U.S. Drought Monitor map. Some parts of Pennsylvania are even drier, with some of southwestern PA listed as extreme drought. Is any rain in the forecast? Let's check in with Sean.
Well, there is actually some rain in the forecast, but the more pressing issue right now are these red flag warnings that are across much of the state. So that means that it is high fire danger. So if you plan on doing anything outdoors that involves, electronic appliances or something like that, or you plan to have a campfire, don't do it today, at least until 6 p.m. this evening when the wind dies down, which plays a very key role in fire danger. Looking outside right now here in central Pennsylvania, the grass is very dry. You can see how brown some of this grass is here at the Arboretum. So that is going to be an issue going forward. There is rain, though, in the forecast, as mentioned. It's 61 here, so it is a warm day here in central Pennsylvania, which is pretty, again, above average for this time of year. Again, as you mentioned, 61 in State College. It's already 67 down here in Philadelphia. So a very warm and blustery day across the eastern half of the state. So be aware, again, of fire danger. It will get up into the 60s throughout the day today. It will fall steadily down into the 40s by the time we get to midnight. And then overnight tonight, we're talking about lows into the 30s across most of central Pennsylvania. Still in the 40s down towards Harrisburg, but it's chilly and clear. Gets down to freezing here, Bradford, Franklin, all the way up in the northern tier like usual. Now tomorrow, this is where the fun begins. Whiteout day at Beaver Stadium. 51, great tailgating weather, pristine afternoon start. It gets chilly and it gets very November-like by the time we get to kickoff. Stepping you through time forecast-wise, a couple clouds overnight tonight. Not super serious, but enough just to kind of be there. By the time we get to tomorrow, again, like I mentioned, it is a pristine time to be outside tomorrow. As we get closer to kickoff, some clouds start to come in from the west. Those sort of meander across from west to east, and will cover up our sky by the time we get through the rest of the game. Getting into tomorrow morning, that's when this rain starts to roll into western Pennsylvania. So traveling back from the game, that may be an issue, especially if you're going east as the day goes forward. Now that rain will stick around into Sunday evening and will clear itself by the time we get into Monday morning. Looking forward into our 7-day forecast, things are pretty decent. Mostly sunshine, some rain on Sunday, gets us a little bit wet, which we actually do need, but it will be seasonal and it will be comfortable as we go forward into the next week.
Yeah, Sean, it looks like those 70-degree days are starting to leave us, and soon it's going to be time to get out those gloves and scarves.
It is November, you have to expect that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of weird just not seeing any rain in the fall here, but it's good to know that there's going to be some coming this Sunday. Now let's go ahead and send it over to Josh Gabriel with sports.
Penn State men's basketball returns to the BJC tonight. We'll have an update next in sports. Also coming up, can the Nittany Lions bounce back after a tough loss to Ohio State? We'll preview the whiteout game.
Hey there, I'm Lance Bass, and this is Chip. And if you're like me, your pets mean the world to you. And if disaster strikes, saving them is a priority. Learn how to keep your best friends safe at AmericanHumane.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Yeah.
Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I'm Joshua Gabriel with sports. After this week's release of the season's first college football playoff rankings, the Nittany Lions go into the weekend as the number 6 ranked team in the nation. Here's a look ahead at the whiteout game. Coming off their first loss of the season and another heartbreaker to Ohio State, the Nittany Lions hope they flush the loss and can move on.
Just going 1-0. Just showing that we flushed the loss. We're not worried about that. We focus on going 1-0 this week. That's the only thing we look to do this week.
Coach James Franklin says it's tough, with fans and others still focused on the Buckeyes.
Yeah, just focusing on Washington. Making sure, I think we do a pretty good job in Lash building, but they come to press conference and they have to answer your guys' questions, or you're asking me, or they're walking around town, or they're walking around campus. And everybody else is talking about everything but Washington. So for us, we control the things that we can control, and those other things we can't.
The Lions are looking to bounce back against the 5-4 Huskies in this year's whiteout game. This will only be the 4th time in history Penn State will meet their new conference opponent, with PSU holding a 3-0 series advantage.
I mean, it's just another opponent I see as just trying to go 1-0 each week. I mean, we're just going to prepare like it's the Super Bowl and be ready to play at a high level and do our job at a high level. New games can be the big changeover, but other than that, I mean, just running out of that tunnel for a whiteout, it's feeling unmatched, and it's just a surreal feeling, and I'm ready for it.
The Nittany Lions look poised to get back in the winning column in a primetime showdown under the lights. Kickoff for the game is set for 8 p.m., and you could listen live on Penn State Com Radio with our team in Beaver Stadium. Now to high school football. It's playoff time. Let's look around the District 6 games on the schedule. It's a big night in downtown State College. The 9-1 Little Lions take on the 7-4 McDowell Trojans tonight at State High's Memorial Field. Next up, the 7-4 Tyrone Eagles travel to take on unbeaten Penn Cambria. And finally, the Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers host the Du Bois Beavers tonight. You can see the highlights on After the Whistle live at 11:30 tonight on our YouTube channel. Penn State hockey is on a bye week and hopes to snap a 2-game losing streak when they hit the ice again. After sweeping St. Lawrence at home, the Nittany Lions were swept themselves at Minnesota last weekend. They're now 4-3 on the season and will take on Wisconsin next weekend. Saturday is the annual Teddy Bear Toss to support kids with pediatric cancer. Penn State men's basketball is back in the BJC tonight for another non-conference game. After a dominant 108-66 win against Binghamton on Monday, the Nittany Lions are back on the court tonight at 6 p.m. against UMBC. Having 4 starters with double-digit points on Monday, the Lions are looking to keep the momentum up against the Retrievers. Now, let's move on to women's basketball and the Lady Lions. After beating Bucknell in their season opener 90-68, Penn State faced Canisius last night in the Bryce Jordan Center and dominated. Suffocating defense helped the Lady Lions jump out to a 31-6 lead after the first quarter. Penn State went on to win 89-57. They will play at the BJC again on Sunday against Duquesne. That's all for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Yeah, hoping for a lot better result this weekend than we saw against Ohio State.
Absolutely, especially in the whiteout. The stadium is going to be energetic.
You know, the whiteout is one of the most looked forward to games in the whole season, so I'm excited to see what the results are going to be. Thanks, Josh. Coming up next, how volunteers at the Penn State Arboretum are turning their green thumbs into a powerful tool for giving back to the community. Stay with us.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
There's been another deadly shooting at a local elementary school. According to authorities, the suspect acquired the gun from a family member's home before using it to take the lives of innocent children and teachers.
Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
The Penn State Arboretum is proving that gardens are more than just natural beauty. Staff and volunteers are making an impact in the community. The Penn State Arboretum is known for its views, wildlife, and natural beauty. The gardens highlight unique greenery found around the country. But behind the scenes, staff and volunteers are making a difference in the community with food grown here. Volunteer project manager Aubrey Talon leads the group.
So our volunteers touch the food from seeding the whole way out to donating, which is great.
Volunteers harvested more produce this season than in years past.
And this year we are right around 1,500 pounds so far, and I'm expecting it to pop up to about 2,000 by the time we get all of our gourds in.
As you can see behind me, there is nothing left in these garden plots. The director of the horticulture and operations at the Arboretum told me that they're shifting their focuses from harvesting to donating everything to the food bank.
Volunteers sorted through edible pumpkins and gourds this week, wrapping up their harvest season. The food is taken every Wednesday to the food bank.
Donating to the food bank, I think, is one of the ways that we can send out arms of compassion to local community members, and also improve our relationship with local community members so that they feel like they have a place at the Arboretum.
Volunteers were also hard at work planting tulip bulbs, preparing for a new growing season in the spring.
I think that when we can do something like this where we pull food from nature and we show people how to grow that food as part of the process, and then we can give that back to the community and give that back to folks who genuinely need it, that's like the best case scenario for me.
That's really great what they're doing there.
It really is. It's really good for the community. But that's all we have for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Tuesday for our next local news update.
And you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X. And you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, and YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10